G'day champion, it's Stuart Stone here from Health and Fitness Over 40, and today we're going to talk about balance. Now, I'm not talking about work-life balance, although that could be a good topic for the future, and I'm not talking about macronutrient balance. In other words, the balance between how many carbs, fats and protein you need to get in your diet each day, although that too could be a good topic for the future. The balance I'm talking about today is the balance that if you don't have it, you fall over and end up in hospital. So why is that important? Well, if you were with me 25 years ago, seems like a while now, you would have found out that for people over 70, when they have a fall and break a hip or break a rib, it's not the fall that kills them. It's being bedridden for 3 to 10 days and ending up with pneumonia, and then they ultimately drown in their own fluids. Sounds pretty gruesome, sounds pretty drastic, it's a horrible way to go, and it's unnecessary. Now, why do I say that? Because if these people worked on their balance, doing simple things which we're going to talk about shortly, they could avoid the fall, avoid the fracture, avoid the pneumonia, and still be there with their grandkids and their children, having a great quality of life. So how can we get around this? What can you do to help yourself? Well, there's no point waiting until you're 70, 80, 90 years old to be bumping into furniture and falling over and breaking knees and busting hips and hitting your head and getting skull fractures and lovely stuff like that before you work on your balance. That's way too late. It's a crisis response and it's chasing a result instead of looking at prevention being far better than a cure. So it's when we're 35, 40, 45, 50, before we start having these falls that we need to work on our balance. So what can you do today to start helping yourself out? Well, number one, super quick, super simple test. And it's literally standing on one leg for 30 seconds. Try it out right now. In fact, pause the video, stand on first your right leg for 30 seconds, then flip over and do the same thing on your left leg for 30 seconds. Not too hard, simple you might say. Now do the same thing with your eyes shut. So, as part of this video, I've got a challenge for you. Each Monday morning, spend 10 minutes working on your balance. Start on that challenge of standing on one leg for 30 seconds and then flip over into doing 30 seconds on each leg with your eyes closed. It will get easier, but it won't be that simple when you start out. Now, for me to throw a challenge at you, I've got to also challenge myself. And this is one of the things as we get older. It's very important to be constantly challenging yourself to grow and to be more and to be the best version of yourself. So my challenge to you and my challenge for myself to help motivate you and encourage you to do this challenge and improve your balance is I'm going to learn to ride a unicycle. Yes, I'm going to learn to ride a one-wheeled bike. In fact, through the rest of the video, we're going to put my results up here so that you can check them out, laugh at me, and realize that, you know what, if Stu can learn to ride a unicycle, well, maybe I can learn to stand on one foot. So that's my motivation for you, my challenge for you to help you overcome this issue before it becomes a major problem. Simple. But why is it important to be able to balance yourself with your eyes shut? Well, number one, when you close your eyes, you're taking out 80% of your neurological stimulus for you being able to balance yourself. In other words, your vision, your sight is responsible for 80% of your balance space. So if we take 80% of the input out of the equation, and let's face it, most people have a fall when they get up for the toilet at night, so the lights are off, and they're stumbling around, have a fall and boom, busted hip, busted rib, skull fracture, hospital and death, or they bleed out on the floor. So you need to be able to have decent balance without this visual input. So like I said, the test becomes standing on one leg for 30 seconds with your eyes closed. How do you practice it? Well, probably the easiest way and the best way, because we don't want to be having falls while they're practicing and testing this, is stand with a chair or the sofa in front of you. Just put your hands on it, close your eyes, stand on one leg, get your balance, then remove your hands. And if you start to wobble a bit, reach out, touch, go again. Now, does it have to be exactly 30 seconds? No, what you're looking for is close your eyes and then count out loud the classic 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, so on and so forth, up to 30. Then you know you're getting pretty stable. Now here's the thing, do it once a week. Pick a Monday morning for 10 minutes, practice. What else can you do to help this out? And if you're 60, 70 years old, that's probably the best way to practice things. But what else can you do for yourself? Well, yoga is a great way to start. In other words, if you're doing your warrior poses where you've got one foot behind the other, then you're relying on your core stability and your balance to be upright. Then when you start getting into your balance postures like your tree and your standing warrior and all those sort of poses and postures, that's going to help you with your balance. In fact, flexibility is also another one, because if you have a stumble and a fall and you've got to overstretch, you don't want to tear a muscle, damage your joints. Like I said, spend 10 minutes on a Monday morning. If you want to go hardcore and work on your fitness and your health and your flexibility overall and your state of mind, try yoga. Get into it. Even 20 to 30 minutes of yoga. Like I said, the video I've put down here runs for about 10 minutes. Super simple, super powerful. It'll give you the results you want, and you can just reduce your risk dramatically for unnecessary falls that can end up with a busted hip, broken ribs, fractured skull, and even your death. So on that happy note, you know what to do by now. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you again really soon.